What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Paul's Best Podcast, the podcast where we talk about only the very best of everything. Today was one I've been waiting on. This. We scheduled it. Speaking of the best, I have two of the best. Dude, these guys have one of the best comedy podcasts, in my opinion, ever. Two of the funniest guys going right now. We got Yannis Pappas. We got Chris Distefano here. The History Hyenas are here.
We're in here.
And you're in here. And listen, we were just talking. We all have old men sneakers, but we're all very comfortable.
We're very comfortable. Right.
There's no what do they call it? Plantar fasciitis?
No, we don't have that. No.
You can't with these. You can't.
No.
It's a cure.
No, Chris is right. If someone took a picture of just our sneakers, it looks like a white woman's running group.
Yes, this is These sneakers. These are the type of sneakers that we're wearing. All these sneakers. I'll tell you what's another thing about these sneakers.
Yeah.
When you see people with sneakers like this and tailored jeans like this, then you know they live in a neighborhood where most people call 311, not 911. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you know what I mean, the upper echelon neighborhoods, you're not really going to call 911. There's no need to. You call 311. Where this podcast studio is located, because of some of the decisions some of the people have made to get a certain mayor in here, this is now a 911 street. You have to call 911.
What he's basically saying is you either live in a 311 or a 911. Right?
Yeah.
We live in a 311. All three of us live in a 311.
Yeah. You know, we used to be this block. We used to come to this block a lot, and there used to be one of my favorite pizzerias, and now it's been bought out, and now they sell rugs there. So it's just a little bit of an issue for me.
Yeah, things have changed.
Yeah.
What we're saying is we side with Ken Griffin in his feud against Mom Dami.
Right. What's that? What do you mean? Ken Griffey Jr.?
No, Ken Griffin is the CEO of Citadel.
Right.
And when Mom Dami knocked on the camera and he said, we're going to tax the rich, he was doing it in front of Ken Griffin.
Oh, in front of his home.
In front of his home, and he's bringing all the jobs. And now he says he's doubling down and he's moving to Miami.
Right. Yeah.
He says he's taking his talents to Miami, so we side with him. We're just kidding. You know what I love about this podcast is you got to come in with the best, even if you've had a shitty day.
Yeah.
So
but listen, dude, I just got, it was shitty for me.
Yeah, I had a shitty day this morning.
Listen, I mean, Broadway was closed off, so that's an instant. Here's the thing about New York City: when a road's closed off, if your GPS says 12 o'clock, road's closed off, 12:25.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's a 20-minute.
Yep.
And let's be honest.
But no matter who you're talking to, you tell them 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Listen,
we all do that.
About time.
All guys do that. All guys. If you're 20 minutes off, you always go. How far out? You go. I'm 2 minutes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, my house. My house is upstate. It's never been an hour. It's 58 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. It's 58.
Yeah,
Because if you throw 58, it seems doable.
And I'm a German kid, so Yannis knows I like punctuality. I like to be on time. So I've been here for an hour, just ready to go. I bought cookies. I did my physical therapy, and I was sitting in that waiting room listening to what some of the staff were saying and just being around them. I got to tell you something. You got about 2 or 3 out there. They're going to kill themselves within 2 years. They're buying deli sandwiches from a garage. They're barely hanging on. Thank God you have this podcast. You bring a lot of positive energy. But these kids are ready to go. They're ready to go right now, and you can feel it. Nice kids, but they're ready to go.
You know what's really great is we are a little bit like dog breeds.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But we do have a lot of positive traits. Everyone always focuses on the negative.
Right.
But punctuality for a German, that's a positive trait.
Right.
Is that a thing?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
big time.
What? Germans are set?
Yeah.
We like to be on time, and I don't tolerate lateness. So when Yannis, what happens is when Yannis, the first few times he comes to the podcast, a
late kid.
Little few minutes late, and then if he comes like more than 30 minutes late, what I start to do is we'll have a history topic. Say we're going to talk about the French Renaissance. Little by little, I start to say, you know what? Let's talk about the Holocaust. Let's talk about the Nazis. Let's talk about Nazi uniforms. And then if he is over an hour late, he knows it's just a full German accent. I said, where were you? And then sometimes I ask him when he comes in. I said, let me see your papers. I asked to see his papers.
He gets a look in his eye where he starts to view me as sort of the sewage of Europe.
But there is something with you, because we've been friends now a long time, and I think that everything we've ever had scheduled, I actually think you might have been late for every one of them.
Yeah, it's a Greek thing. They call it Greek time.
I mean, he has no wallet.
Are you always on time?
I'm always on time. If I'm not on, if I'm a few minutes late, he actually texts me and gets worried, because if I'm 90 seconds late, it's an issue.
That is a good trait. He's right. That's a good trait to have.
So when I was touring in Scandinavia years ago, it was shocking to me that they actually get mad at you. Like they get mad at you.
Right.
Like it's like rude. In their culture, it's like very rude. It's like it's not something that they do, and if you do it, it angers them.
Right.
Like they literally, it's like offensive. Like I did something. You're like, wow, can I be friends with this guy? He showed up 10 minutes late. To me, that's a little too strict.
It's too strict because here's the benefit. Here's the benefit of being late and whatever. And what I know about Yanni is I'm always on time. Fine, that's punctual, great. But my blood pressure is about 30 points higher than Yanni's because I'm stressed out all the time. Where Yanni's just kind of living. You know, the kid he makes real money throwing on a wig in his mom's stockings and he goes and sells tickets. So he's got a level of stress that you and I don't understand. You know, you lost your hair at 19 because you're stressed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this kid,
I have anxiety.
he's not stressed. I mean, look at what he's wearing. He's wearing women's orange
And look at how young I look. I look young.
And listen, full head of hair.
Full head
of hair.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Healthy.
Healthy. You got to see sometimes he comes in shirts, his guts out, doesn't care at all.
Let's be honest. Be honest. You know, I'm honest, Yannis. If somebody came in here right now and they didn't know the three of us and they had to guess who was the oldest, there's a good chance they wouldn't guess me.
I agree
There's
with that.
a good chance they wouldn't guess me.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I bet you if we did like one of these actual cellular, like real biological age tests, you might be the youngest. Because you have the less stress.
Right.
You have the least stress.
We always say you're younger than me, but by the numbers, you're older than me.
But by the numbers, I'm older than you. But I do get the things that de-stress me, like Yannis, he goes all day not being stressed, and I appreciate that. Me, I'm high stress, but I get really low stress when I hit a cookie.
Right.
When I hit a cookie, I really...
So when you get the cookies, it's not like a nice thing. It's actually for you to calm down.
I guarantee you, when we were all sitting here,
Yeah.
when Yannis was laying you, I guarantee you my blood pressure is supposed to be normal 120 over 80. I guarantee I was 160 over 110, just stressed out. And then he came in 120 over 80, relaxed. You came in 120 over 80, relaxed. When I hit that cookie, I bet you I was 110 over 70.
Yeah.
I was lower than the both
You
of
could actually see the piece come over him. I've only seen it a few times.
Yeah.
One time it was when he took edibles,
Right.
and then he was like in the moment. Another time we were in Germany,
Yeah.
and we were having a
I call it
beer.
the father,
You're,
right?
you're a high-strung kid.
We were in Deutschland. He was having a beer, and we were sitting by the French Alps, and there was a calm that came over him. It's only a few times, and every time he has a cookie, it's a little bit of calm. It never matches that.
So, Chris,
Right.
you know what it is? You're the type of kid that you need, if you buy something, right? You're the type of kid you might be stressed out, but then all of a sudden you go through, a little stroll through the mall, you pick up some nice New Balance, you come down a little
No,
bit.
he doesn't care about that at all.
No, I'm not a sneaker guy.
He's
I'm
not a
really...
carrot.
No, but I mean the something.
Cookie.
The thing.
The thing
but
is
it's a
sweet.
cookie.
So the
but
thing
it's
is food.
It's
you,
food.
See, you put me in
Sweets.
front of a Cold Stone Creamery, my blood pressure comes down about 60
Yeah.
points.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay, so you're a cake, you're a cookie.
Big.
Okay.
The thing that hurts me, the way, you know how, you ever seen him eat pizza? How
Yeah.
he'll go up to the deli, how he'll go up to the pizza counter 6-7 times?
no, I've seen him.
I've been there at Joe's. This is a real thing where the guy cut him off, like he was at a bar.
No, he ate he ate 5 bowls of my wife's chili and he couldn't put water down.
Yeah,
He almost went to the emergency room.
It's what it is. Yeah,
He almost went to the emergency
It's what it is.
room.
So he can't. That's what it is with pizza. I'm like that with sweets. So
Okay.
I can't stop. But the thing is with pizza, at least it's got a little protein. It's not as bad. The sweets will really get you, but it's what it is. It's my pizza.
You got a sweet tooth.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But not like that.
Everybody's got something.
I'm not going to walk to a cookie joint.
No.
I'm just not going to walk to a
No,
cookie
but
joint.
you're like an addict at night. If you'll start looking through drawers, you're like that.
I'm like an older guinea where it's like when the dinner's done, put it this way. If you think that I'm going to have a nice dinner and a coffee and not something sweet, you just have another thing coming.
Guys, and here's the thing: is we can't put so much pressure on ourselves. We're pretty much good guys, okay? I'm not out here. We're not cheating on our wives. The worst thing I do is eat cookies, and yes, it can be talking to a happy ending, but that's about it. and everything else, I respect my family. I love my family, but
Yeah.
I like little sweets.
You like
I like a little
sweets?
sugar. That's all it is.
Now are you an everyday cookie guy?
I try not to be. But I'm not going to sit here on this podcast and lie to you, especially with the purple background. I look so gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'm an everyday sweets guy.
Are you a donut kid?
Donuts, I will say I can walk away from donut. Can't walk away from a cookie.
Can't walk away from
Can't walk away from a cookie, and I can't walk away specifically from a black and white cookie.
And what about a cupcake?
A cupcake I like. I like a cupcake.
You like a-
big. Yeah, like my daughter's birthday's in a couple of weeks, and just this morning they were talking about what she's going to get, what kind of cake she's going to get, and I told my wife, because my wife's going to bake cake, I said, and also, are you going to do cupcakes? And she was like, well, it's whatever our daughter wants. I said, yeah, do a little cupcake.
We're gonna get a cake and cupcake.
Yeah.
You're a black and white guy.
Black and white.
I'm a rainbow cookie kid. You like a rainbow cookie?
I'm not sweet. You know me.
He's good with sweets,
You know me.
man. He really is.
You know
Pizza
me.
is what he's
Yeah.
bad at.
By the way,
Yeah.
the rainbow cookie, the red part can't be pink.
Yeah.
It's got to be a deep red.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, of
It's got to
course.
be a little. It's got to be a little moist.
Yep.
It's got to be a deep red and a deep green.
Yep.
With the
Yep.
white.
The,
Wow.
the thing about what I got is I get immediate punishment for it.
What do you mean?
Tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Immediate punishment. You get GERD
I think
immediately.
something might be wrong with you. I'm not joking. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. My wife saw it too, and she's like, "How is he okay?" Giannis has attacked food to a level where he'll go, "Hey, get another slice," and he goes, "I had 5," and then I'll see him go 6 and 7.
I could do 2 pies.
It's just
The way he takes it out in a way like he's angry still at like the Ottoman Empire for subjugating his family.
Yeah.
Like he's taking out he's looking at pizza like they're Seljuk Turks.
Yeah.
Just eat through 'em.
You really want to attack the pot.
Dude, it's just the appetite I've always had.
Right.
It's insatiable.
It's kind of a miracle you're not.
insatiable.
It's kind of a miracle you're not a
Well, you
350-pound monster.
said if I had a sweet tooth, it would
No,
forget
if he had a
it.
sweet tooth, we'd have to
It'd be
roll
bad.
him out of here.
It would-
We would need
It'd
a
be
crane
bad.
to get him out of here.
I would be on a TV show on the Learning Channel if I had a sweet tooth.
Yeah, if you had a sweet tooth, it would be like comedian Yannis Pappas is now on 600-pound life.
It'd be bad.
It would be like you'd have a documentary.
My wife would be an enabler at that point.
Yeah. Well, and that's also the problem too with Greek guys is his wife. She doesn't say, "Oh, you got to get in the gym," whatever. This is what it is with these guys. They want if the better shape you're in. I think the Greek women think you're a little gay for that.
Do you know what's fun? Do you know what's funny?
You
You ever watch those shows where they got to remove the wall or something to get the person out?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. How great? Nobody talks about how great a wife or a husband that person is.
Right.
To just keep bringing them food.
Right.
Like that is a loyalty.
Yeah.
On a level.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I just saw it.
Yeah.
I just saw it where two 600-pounders.
Yeah.
They started. They said the appetizer was 2 pies each. This is not a joke.
Yeah.
2 pies each was the appetizer.
Yeah.
And then they start, and you see them and they're eating and the belly is sagging to the floor and they're on the couch. And then the guy got up and the way he got up and he waddled and then he made stacks of pancakes that looked like for Andre the Giant with sausage and bacon and then they kept going. But you know what? They sat there in glory.
Yeah. And if you guys want to see that guy, he owns a comedy club called The Stand.
Yeah. But there's always when you get to a certain size, there's always somebody who's helping. You always need a helper. It's like when you're a golfer, you always need somebody to carry your bag.
It's enabling like a drug dealer.
It's enabling, but it's also like love.
Yeah.
It's like I love you so much. You want it. I'm gonna get it for you.
But I mean, it's the same thing if you break it down. Like we've just been conditioned to do this, but like we all love our kids. But a lot of times, what I've tried to stop doing because I know it created a problem for me, I don't reward them with sweets. I don't say, "Oh, if you go to this T-ball game, we'll go get ice cream after."
Right, okay.
Because it's all sugar. It's no good for them.
Yeah.
So now I try to reward them in other ways. I tried healthy food. That really doesn't work. So now my kids are different. I reward the older one. I let her play in the laptop, and then the little one's different. And her and I watch a Hitler video in English. She likes those. She claps.
You know what I do?
Yeah.
I go money or like technology.
Smart.
Good one. There's a good story. I think you know the story.
You know what bothers me every time you call yourself Italian? It's not the full story.
He's a little Greek.
A little. He's half Greek.
I'm saying, but like the Italian. In me
I know,
is
but
the-
you
is the
always say
shipping and
Italian, but
cash.
you should always say half Greek too.
But then
You should put it in.
but then the boy looks like a Viking, beautiful Viking, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, it's 'cause of the wife.
But
Jumper,
Giannis, when I
with a
tried-
wet jumper.
Yeah, he's got a
Kid's
wet.
got a wet jumper.
Yeah.
It's not too late for your daughter.
Yeah, dude, I told her.
No, it's actually perfect.
But listen,
Yeah, we're gonna
here's the
sign
deal.
it up.
Yeah.
You saw me when I tried tipping the guy.
Yeah.
Right? That's Italian. That's not Greek. You got to
That's
admit that.
Italian.
That's the Italian.
That's Italian.
So my daughter's soccer team a couple years ago, terrible. Not one goal all season.
Wow.
And didn't win.
Like the little Giants.
So she goes, Dad, I want an iPhone. And I go, you can't get an iPhone because your brother got an iPhone 2 years after this. You got to wait 2 years because that's when he got it.
Sure.
And she's like having meetings with Stacy, and I just hear whisper, I want an iPhone. So I just go, here's what I'll do. And I say, look, you guys got 1 goal all year and 0 wins. I go, you know what, Sophia? You score a goal tomorrow, you get the iPhone, right?
Right.
And this was around when the iPhone 11, 12s are coming out. And it's 0-0
Sure.
at half. And then all of a sudden comes out a second half. The ball kicks out. It's not offsides. It's her, the ball, and the goalie. And I told all the parents, so everyone's watching. She lofts it over the goalie's head. It goes in. Everyone goes nuts. She's running down. She looks. She goes, iPhone 11. And the place went nuts. But listen, that's the thing.
And you got her. You got it for her.
I bribe with cash.
Cash.
And things.
Smart.
Yeah.
Not food.
Not food. And
Not
that's
food, not
smart.
sweets.
Yeah, because it's all innocent, but sometimes my sweets issue, that definitely, I do have to blame a little bit on my ma. Because that's what she would do. She always had sweets in the house, and she would say, Chris, if you just do your homework, get a little Chips Ahoy, get something nice. Right. And my father knew that's not good.
Were you a heavy kid?
No, never.
Never?
No, I've never really been heavy in my life.
No.
Never like fat, blown
Were
out.
you ever heavy
No,
with
I
the
was
way
the
you eat?
opposite. I'm heavier now. I was always skinny, very skinny.
And you ate the same.
They thought I had a tapeworm. Like they literally thought I had
Yeah,
a
I
tapeworm.
remember you saying
My
that.
family used to talk about it. My family,
Right.
it was a thing at family events where people would. It's noticeable how I eat. It's noticeable.
noticeable.
It's noticeable.
Can we tell the story?
It's
on the
something
pod?
you'll notice.
Will you be mad if we told it? Can we tell the story on the
Which
pod
one?
with the plunger?
I think we told it. We did tell
we
it.
did tell
we
it.
told it on
Oh,
the
we
last
told
time
it.
we were
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah.
Clogged up a
Yeah,
toilet?
yeah,
I
you know,
clogged
what
up
can
the
you do?
toilet,
You
yeah.
just text
At your place?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the kid, but the funny thing is, he would just, he would eat. Okay, guys, before we continue with the show, I got to announce some tour dates. Come and see me on tour, guys. I have some great shows coming up. I will be at the Zanies in Rosemont, Illinois, May 29th and 30th, right outside Chicago. One of my favorite rooms. Check that out. That's the 29th and 30th of May at Zanies in Rosemont. Then we have Point Pleasant, New Jersey, Uncle Vinny's, June 12th and 13th. On June 18th, I'll be in Pottstown, Pennsylvania at Soul Joel's. That's the 18th. Then on the 19th and 20th, I am at the Hartford Funny Bone, Manchester, Connecticut on the 19th and 20th. Then Toledo, I'm coming to the Funny Bone on the 24th. And Cincinnati, I'll be at the Funny Bone on the 25th. Get tickets, paulvirzi.com. Come and see this hour. It's the best hour I've ever done. I cannot wait to see you guys at a show. Now let's get back to the podcast. Right?
I mean, the shit was so big, it looked like it was like a flower or a plant growing out of the toilet.
Yeah.
It looked like it looked like if you left it there, it would have kept going.
No, Chris, here's a funny thing. Giannis would come to the house, right? He'd come to the house. He'd bring Brittany, trying to talk him into coming up there. This is early on. Brooklyn. She's in, whatever, Long Island, whatever. And we'd eat. We'd have a good time. Stacy and Britt start talking, start having some drinks, and then Giannis would disappear. Right. And I would go, and all of a sudden I'd be down there talking like half hour, 45 minutes, and then I'd walk past the guest room. He'd be fully clothed, shoes on, face down, like a dead body was in my house. like a murder victim. Was in my house. He'd have a vest on, he'd have his Timberlands on, and he'd be sprawled out. And then he would just come out and be like, oh, I went down for a little bit. And poor Brittany's down there like, they talk. But yeah, the kid would just go down. He would eat himself to a coma.
Yeah, no, it's how he is.
No.
I know.
All true except the Timberlands. I don't know where you got the Timberlands from.
You had boots on.
I had boots
you had some
on,
sort of winter
Yeah,
boots
yeah,
hanging
some
off
type
the,
of- yeah.
You had some sort of, I think you had a vest on and some sort of winter boots hanging off the end, and you were like this, and you were napping, but you were fully clothed.
Knowing him because he's a little bit more. They were fries. Knowing him,
Probably fry.
threw out some fries.
Probably fry.
Yeah, see, only the gay. He's got a gay brother, so he takes tips from the gay brother.
It's a gay gene.
It could be hereditary.
It's a gay gene.
It is hereditary.
It's also because we used to drink ourselves to death.
We would.
So it was food and booze.
That's one thing I will say as I've gotten older, I've really got a handle on is booze. Not that I judge anyone who drinks or doesn't drink, but it just doesn't. I don't need to drink ever again. In my head, I think it's poison for some reason.
No, it is.
And so I don't need it. Like tonight, I'm going to Knicks game. I won't have one. I don't care about beer at all.
Yeah,
might throw a little THC seltzer, but not alcohol.
I just had my first THC seltzer.
What'd you
it's
think?
Actually, a little nice.
Little
for the
seltzy,
back.
right?
Nice for the back.
Yeah, nice for the back. You calm down. You kind of just stay in the zone. I always got a couple of seltzies in my trunk.
Yeah.
Always.
Yanni and I used to go really hard. We used to drink Lagavulin. Did you tell
Scotch.
Did you tell Chris the time you made me watch Saturday Night Fever?
No, this is
gonna
funny.
love it. No, Chris, you're gonna love this one.
funny. So I watch it as a comedy. You can't watch that seriously.
No,
You can't watch Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Fever and take a seat.
Oh yeah.
So
We're drinking scotch.
We were drinking scotch, and I'd seen it 100 times. So I told him, I was like, we're going to turn this on. We're going to laugh our asses off. But I fell asleep, right? I fell asleep. When I woke up, he's sitting there. He's got like a tear in his eye. He's crying. He's watching it like it's Schindler's List. He got caught up in the drama. She's like, Tony, you can't. He's like, but I thought you were my girl. He said, Paul's crying.
I'm watching. I'm going, this is a good movie.
Yeah, when the kid falls off the Verrazano Bridge, it broke your heart.
And listen, I'll be honest. The end of the movie, the little Bee Gees.
Yeah,
I mean,
beautiful.
but Yannis goes, "You're watching it like, I was holding a scotch at 3 o'clock in the morning, watching like it was a serious movie."
He was watching it like a drama. By the way, there are a few movies that are the best movies to watch, I think, when you're a little high, that were dramas that you can watch as comedies.
What's another? You have any?
I think Goodfellas.
No, Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
And Casino.
Casino and Saturday Night Fever may be like the 3 best movies you could watch when you're high, and you'll watch it like it's a comedy.
I mean, in Goodfellas, the best, funniest line of any movie ever is when he finds out, Joe Pesci finds out that his girl, dated, thought a black guy was handsome, and he goes, well, I don't want to make sure I'm not with Nat King Cole.
And then, and then she goes, well, he's talented. He goes, he's very talented. Let's leave it at that.
I've been in a room when that movie's been on in front of black people, and they laugh hysterically. You can't, not every race will laugh at that.
It's just because, you know what? That transcends, that's everybody. That's everything. Every race has kind of dealt with that, even with another race.
Al Sharpton would laugh at that.
Anybody's going to laugh. Dude, what about when Pesci's in Casino, and he's losing at blackjack, and he goes, look at this fucking beaut.
Yeah, and he throws the kid. And that roll, I used to rewind that roll. You know, what's his name, the comedian? Just help me.
Oh.
Don Rickles?
You know when Don Rickles does that roll?
And he rolls?
I used to rewind that over and over because he's like, I used to rewind it over and over, and I always used to rewind, you Jew motherfucker, you. If you go over my head one more time.
And all the memes now are like, they put Netanyahu.
Oh, it's the best.
As De Niro and Trump as Pesci. It's hilarious.
They meet up in the
Jew motherfucker.
It's the best. And in Goodfellas, also the scene with the Jew broad, and when they're lighting the place on fire.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, "Can you believe? I do a lot of favors for you, Henry. I do a lot of favors for you. These fucking Jew broad.
Italians in this day and age.
In this day and age, can you believe it?
I mean, Pesci's a comedy even when he's winning Oscars for
best.
drama.
Pesci, I would say Pesci's like on the second to a millionth watch, however many times you watch it, he's one of the funniest guys. But it's always on the second watch.
And you know what's funny about Pesci and amazing about Pesci is he didn't even necessarily want to be an actor. He just was
a singer, right?
He was just a singer, just a funny. He had so much talent that, like, when they saw him, they were like, this guy's, I heard that's how it was with Tracy Morgan, that he, just went and auditioned for SNL. He was barely doing comedy, and Lorne Michaels was like, I don't know what to do with this guy, but I know he's got to be on the show.
Right.
Yeah,
we just don't know what to do.
Right, because he wasn't, like, crazy in the circuit, I don't think.
No.
He did Def Jam, and he did some things, but he wasn't like, and they just went up, but he's such a unique guy.
Yeah, Pesci was started as a musician.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kid could sing.
Didn't Pesci discover Frankie Valli?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Look that up. I think Pesci was the one that got Frankie Valli. Like, they were together or something.
That might have been. That might be some like old Italian guy lore.
Possibly.
It could be one of those.
Like that.
It could be like Richard Gere with the gerbil in the ass, 4 Italian guys. Going, Pesci discovered Valli, and Valli discovered, and it just
there's always a story with Sinatra.
Yeah, Sinatra.
Sinatra showed up one night. He met so and you never know if it's
my
real.
grandmother went on a date with Sinatra. It's always you're right. It's connected to Frankie Valli or Sinatra, something like that. Yeah.
Dude, what about when Pesci walked in to collect? And the guy goes, I thought you were laying. And he goes, no, I'm taking. And he goes, I'm a little confused. He goes, you're a little confused. How about I stick your head through that fucking thing? He goes, will that unconfuse you? You're right, though. There are dramas that are comedy.
Yeah, comedy. He goes, remember when he grabs the gambler and he goes, you're a fucking degenerate.
Oh, my God.
When he owes him the money.
He goes, tell me you fucking gambled. I'll put the lights on. He goes, you got babies in the fucking house. He goes, do it again. I'll leave you where I
even that iconic scene that's everywhere when in Goodfellas when he's like, no, funny how? Even that is just like, it's genius.
It's the best.
Well, I heard that the improv thing, and this is true because they all said it. That's why Henry Hill, Ray Liotta, rest his soul, wasn't talking. And she goes, what, Henry, you don't talk so much. And he goes, I'm just listening. Remember when he goes, the hoof, when they're eating at night, she wakes up and cooks them?
Yeah.
That was all improv.
Yeah.
So, like, Ray Liotta goes, dude, I was just watching them go.
Yeah.
Like, because Pesci was so, what are you going to do? It's a sin.
Yeah.
The hoof. He goes, well, I'm working nights.
Yeah.
When he said I'm working nights.
Yeah.
She goes, why don't you settle down? He goes, I settle down every night, and I want to be with you.
Yeah.
One dog goes this way, the other dog goes the other way.
This guy's saying, what do you want from me?
Wait for me. Yeah. I mean, it just is a comedy.
All right, so here's what we're going to do, guys. I got the History Hyenas, Yannis Pappas, Chris Distefano. We are on Paul's Best. Happy to have these guys. We always talk to the guests about what best of we're going to do, and we talk to the fellas, and I think it's only fitting on this episode, okay, that we talk. We decided that we're going to do you guys want to do, I'll give you guys a choice now. Do you want to do best historical figures in history, or do you want to do best battles?
I know what we do right now.
What are we doing?
Because I know Chrissy very well,
Yep.
and I know me very well, and he knows me very well. We all know each other very well. Do fit best historical time periods, because Chrissy, this is like, Chrissy will go pyoing.
Oh,
Chrissy is specific, something about
It's almost like an idiot.
You know what I'm
going to
pick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do best time periods in history. You know, this is good because I had somebody on and we did best musical eras.
Yeah.
So now we're going to do best historical times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So what would you? Okay. Right off
He's
the bat.
obsessed with a period because
Okay.
he got reincarnated.
I got
from it.
reincarnated from a certain period in time, and this is very specific.
Is this why you guys do? Is this it? Like, are you really from another? Are you from another? Are you from another time?
I believe so.
And which time would you think you're from?
I believe that I lived and died my best years of my life in the American colonial period, in colonial America, in Revolutionary War.
Okay.
1770 to 1790. American. I believe I was born in. I believe that I was most likely born in probably something like the late 1750s.
Whoa.
Fought in the Revolutionary War, which began in roughly 1775.
Okay.
And then I believe I died somewhere in the late 1780s, early 1790s, because that is where my obsession with the history ceases to exist.
Wow.
Whoa.
How do you think he got taken out?
I think
Yeah.
that
What happened in battle?
I mean,
Were you a red coat or were you an American?
I was an American,
Yeah.
but I think what probably happened for me, because I'm an American, but I'm also, I try to be a little bit compassionate. I try to understand everyone's story. I think I probably was in a pub favoring the redcoats a little bit too much, and I think I got hung for that.
Because
I got hung.
Were you just maybe you were in the because we always
is
talk about how
wild.
cute their uniforms were.
That's what it is.
Maybe you were in a pub, you were a little drunk,
Yeah.
and you were revolutionary, but you started going, guys, listen.
The redcoats.
Not
They
for
are
anything.
nice.
I wish ours were a little.
Yeah,
little
I
good.
mean-
I said the redcoats are nice. The generals, I mean, they really are. They look nice. I'm obviously for America, and I don't like Britain and down with the king, but those redcoats are absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And so I think either I got hung for that, or I think somebody said, you know what, I've had enough of this guy, and it hit me with a musket ball in the back
Maybe
of
they
the
would
head.
have. Maybe they would have
I
shot
think I
you
went
in
down.
the bar.
Yeah, and I think I went down. I think I went down somewhere in the New York area.
So, and you're not interested in the late 1800s, nothing.
I mean,
like
listen, we know about the War of 1812 and the Civil War and all that stuff, but I'm really not interested. I'm really not. It doesn't really make me go pewing. Two time periods make me go really pewing.
Okay, go ahead.
And that's the American Revolutionary War, the colonial, time period, and then Nazi Germany, World War II.
Well, for me,
I'm not for it.
No.
But I'm just saying.
No, but I think like when you're talking about interesting history, for me,
Yeah.
it would be World War II.
We could talk about that big.
World War II
Yeah.
is was it 1939?
America came in 1941, but it started in 1939.
So 1939 and it ended in what 45?
45.
Okay, that period when you watch it, when you watch the documentaries,
Sure.
when you read
World War
about
II
it,
in color.
That's crazy.
You want to know why? It's because it's like the Batman movie. It's because they had such a good villain. You need a good villain.
Yes.
Hitler's like the Joker.
Right.
He's the star of
went
World War
big.
II.
He went big. Hitler went big, and I think
He deserves an Oscar for his
deserves
performance.
an Oscar. And I think honestly, time will tell because there's more and more evidence coming out that he wasn't as bad as we thought.
Well, here,
Not great.
the thoughts of Chris Distefano are not those of Paul's best
I'm not
podcast.
saying he's a good, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
You just say you think the mainstream historians got it
Well,
wrong.
I'm just saying nobody's a villain in their own story. I just don't think he thought he was bad. Is what I'm saying. I think
Oh, he
that
definitely
No,
didn't
he did
I
think
think
it
he
was
thought
bad.
he was doing what was right.
He did. He
You got to
definitely,
respect a man for that.
he definitely didn't think he was bad. He definitely-
Yeah, he doesn't mean that. You don't mean
Yeah,
that.
I'm just kidding around.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding around. I know I look like
So
a
let me ask-
frontline Nazi, but I'm just kidding around.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think in all of your in all of your research, in
Sure.
all of your reading, and all of the things you've watched, do you think Hitler died in that bunker and killed himself, or do you think the kid went to Argentina?
he
Do
thinks-
you think the kid went to Argentina, or some people think the kid's still alive?
Can I ask you that for you? I know what Chris thinks.
What does he think?
Chris thinks he walked up onto a mountain and he was ascended into heaven.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Chris thinks he was just ascended into heaven.
Yeah.
And that he's gonna rise again.
Yeah, and it's some people would say he is rising again, and I think that he probably personally, knowing what I know, off the historians, I think because he's the kid was a maniac.
Yeah.
The kid was
He was a drug addict too, right?
big time crystal meth, methed out.
No, was he crystal meth?
Panzer chocolate. The crystal meth was designed by Nazi scientists in order for them to stay up, and they called it Panzer chocolate, the tank chocolate, because all the tank drivers, the Nazi tank,
they were all fucked
that's
up.
That's why in the first couple of years of the war, the Blitzkrieg, they were undefeated. They fucking steamrolled Poland like the Knicks are steamrolling teams right now. Like, it was insane because Poland was riding horses at them, and these guys were on crystal meth and fucking tanks. So, so that was developed, and then that molecule, crystal meth, that's not scientists.
It was the Adderall of its day, if you will.
So when you see Hitler like that, crystal meth. But so because of that, because of his drug use, all of these guys were on drugs.
He killed himself?
I think, and the inevitable, when you're a megalomaniac like that, I do think he killed himself, or had someone kill him.
That Dana Gould joke is incredible.
What does he say?
Oh, the Dana Gould, he goes Hitler, and he just talks about all the people Hitler killed. All the millions of people. He did this, he did that. He goes, then he's in a bunker with what's her name?
Eva Braun.
Yeah, he goes Eva Braun for one day, and then he shot himself in the head, and he just pauses and he goes, "Marriage is hard." Yeah. It's a great joke.
Burr's got a good one too. That his name is he's so evil they retire your name.
Yeah,
like there's no more Adolfs.
Yeah, like Joe Hitler.
Yeah,
There's just, well, it was like that Key and Peele sketch.
Yeah,
where he tried to do the mustache.
Yeah,
remember Jordan tried doing it.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan tried doing it. Here's the thing: mustache retired.
It's retired.
Mustache retired. The name Adolf retired.
Can't do it. Yeah,
can't do it.
So evil they retired you. Like we can't do that name anymore.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
So, but I think that those two time periods, Revolutionary War and World War II. World War II, I guess more people will go a little bit purring for because there's people walking around right now who fought in those battles. They're dying off, but it's pretty cool that we're living in a time where like you could theoretically talk to someone who, if they kept their mind sharp, remembers actually fighting a Nazi. Yeah. That's wild.
You think it's big too, just because so much of it was caught on film?
Of course.
Yeah.
I think, and
it's nice when they colorize it.
When they colorize it,
and you can really get a sense.
But on the same hand, I think that's why I romanticized the Revolutionary War, because none of it was caught on film. Like the only thing, and is paintings. What you can see is pictures of Revolutionary War soldiers that are like in their late 80s who fought when they were teenagers, and they wear the uniforms. That's cool to see. Yeah, but even the Civil War, even though it wasn't on video, there's pictures of it. Like you can say, oh, that's exactly what happened. But the Revolutionary War, it's like reading a book. You have to kind of think of it. You have to make the painting in your head.
Now you're a kid that you watched that color World War II thing.
Big. Big.
You must have been locked.
He calls Netflix and requests it. When one comes out in black and white, he calls Ted Sarandos. He goes, colorize it.
Yeah. I like that. I like any movie, any documentary where they colorize war footage.
You watch every war movie, right?
Big time. I'm in. I mean, there's a great one about World War I called "Thou Shall Not Grow Old." They shall not grow old, where they colorize World War I, and that's crazy, insane. It was directed by the guy who did Lord of the Rings.
That was
okay.
That was like a big deal when it came out. It was like pre-AI. They released it in the theater, and it was like that was the first time they took the World War I footage and like they doctored it and they made it look realistic. Like they slowed it down. Now they
voice
can
actors, who did lip reading, and they actually put words.
What I find fascinating is when you see the fights in the air.
Amazing.
When you see those single propeller, like the first early planes, and you see them go into the ocean. Yeah. You see them get shot down. It's really nuts. Talk about tough men.
Tough men, and then one thing too that I love about those time periods is Revolutionary War, French Revolution, which was right after the Revolutionary War, is another fascinating period, but also World War II, these monumental moments. If you read stuff from the people living during the time, all of them were saying, the world will never be like it was 100 years ago. Those people were barbaric, blah, blah, blah. And then we look at that 100 years from now saying, how barbaric was that? Putting people in camps, fucking, 200 million people dying. Yeah. But during that time, they were like, oh, it'll never happen again. So my point is like whatever's happening now, that can happen again.
Well, I think that history does repeat itself. No?
All day. Well, they say history doesn't.
It's modernized, but it happens again.
People repeat themselves. More history. That saying history repeats itself
is because of behavior.
Behavior. That's what repeats itself. History can be. You can stop it now, but humans won't.
Humans won't change. That's actually really interesting. Now, Yannis, I know you.
Yeah.
We're definitely going. With you, we're going back to Sparta.
We're going. He likes trans porn big. And his family knows about it, they just accept it. That's what he really likes. And he showed me through neuroscience that's actually what makes him the most pure, is big tits and a big dick. Remember we did that whole thing on neuroscience?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
It tricks your brain.
It tricks your brain, but it's something that once he taught me that, I understand why.
But Yannis is a Greek kid that everything comes from Greek. And listen, He's taught me a lot.
All
There's a lot of
Greeks are
things-
like that, though.
No.
So it's not
listen,
unique to me.
It's a proud culture.
Yeah,
It
it's a
should
proud
be.
culture.
It's a proud culture.
But they did a lot.
But listen,
We're Al Bundy.
But listen, it's truth.
Yeah.
It's truth.
Yeah.
You
Oh.
know, I mean, let's be honest. You go to Madison Square Garden, you go see the football game, you go to a baseball game. Let's be honest. Greeks started sports.
They started
It's kind of
sports.
nuts that Greeks started sports.
Yes.
They started competition.
The
Right.
most important thing they started is, in my opinion, decentralized power. That's my opinion.
Right.
Decentralized power is the most important thing for society. That means, like, you got checks and balances with your power.
Right.
So no more kings. No, you need decentralized. No dictators. The people to rule. Democracy.
Did Greece
Very
ever
important.
have kings and
What
queens?
about,
for any
Yeah,
part of
yeah.
history?
what
Yeah.
about a fair king? King.
Yeah,
Nice guy,
Sometimes you get a good one. Yeah. Sometimes you get.
Guy
but
gives to the people, but he's just living like
what it is.
The problem is when you have that type of power, it's irresistible.
Right.
Like even it turns a good guy into a bad guy. Like I consider myself a pretty good guy, but if I was king, I'm gonna have a harem.
Right.
I'm
Right.
gonna
Take women off
be
the street,
snatching
these poor
women off
girls,
the
yeah.
street. It's gonna I'll be able to, so I'll do it. You know.
Because and let's be honest, if you're a king and the gesture's not funny, you could just say the guy's not funny, cut his head off.
Yeah,
Got his-
yeah.
You know, that's
people
a
get.
Yeah.
People get what?
What time period was that? What time period was the king, like literally?
Pericles.
So what years
What
we
years
talking?
are we talking?
We're talking
1300s?
No, 1300s.
Yeah.
We're talking BC. We're talking before Jesus. We're talking before Rome.
Old school, cuz.
Old school.
Yeah.
Age of Pericles.
No, but the
Golden
king.
Age.
I'm talking like Louis not Louis.
14th?
Those French.
That's French.
That's French.
No, but that time period.
What
Years were that?
Greece. That wasn't when Greece was at. Greece wasn't at its best there. But here's the thing about Greece.
Yeah.
Greece, like, it never really was a country. It was city-states, and it only really became a nation after the Greek-Turkish War, after the Greek Revolution.
Yeah.
So there was never a Greece. But here's the thing about Greece: Greece was everywhere. Right, so it was like it was people were Hellenicized. So the Roman Empire was Greek. I mean, they spoke Greek. The educated classes spoke Greek. The Byzantine Empire was Greek. They spoke Greek. Greek was the lingua franca. It was all the thinkers they translated.
Yeah.
So Greece was just like for example, my father genetically, if you looked at the genes, it's not going to be like ancient Minoan Greek genes. Like your genes are probably more Greek than mine.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
Right.
especially because your dad's from Sicily. On that side were the Greeks, but and Greeks from the Greek area, ancient Greeks. My ancestors were Anatolian, but they were Hellenicized, and so they were Greek for thousands of years.
Yeah.
But they weren't originally from Crete, the original city-states. So genetically, my genes are similar to what a Turk's might be now.
Right.
But
That hurts him to say that.
No, but we were always Greek.
Right.
We were always Greek because those people, got converted or whatever to Islam.
Right.
Right. So, but going all the way back, they're Greek. They were Greek Orthodox. They were culturally Greek. They spoke Greek. So Greece, there's an old expression, they say Rome conquered Greece, but Greece conquered Rome. And that kind of, because Rome took all the Greek stuff and made it, you look at all the Roman buildings and the Republic and their the philosophy and the mathematics, it's all Greek thinking.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it really is the bedrock of Western civilization.
We're
back big.
Greeks
Now
are coming back.
Oh, Greece is doing great right now.
They're doing great, and obviously, I love my New York Knicks, and I think we're going to win the NBA championship this year. And if there's a lot of talk about getting the kid Yannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, and I got to be honest with you, there's a part of me that wants him here.
Yeah.
In New York, but then there's another part of me that's like, I really don't want to go to Madison Square Garden and everything's got feta crumble on it. I'm slipping down the aisles in olive oil.
there's
I don't
gonna
want
be
I don't need to see the fans in the toga. I don't really want to deal with Greek people, Greek women and hair.
There's going to be a Greek
I don't
salad
want to
place
deal with
big
more Greeks.
at the Garden.
Yeah, I don't need people coming to the games in a wife beater. I don't need any of that.
There's going to be Greek flags throughout
Greek
Madison
flags are
Square
going to have
Garden,
live goats outside on 7th Avenue. I don't want to deal with that.
You remember what happened with Hideki Matsui when Hideki Matsui came to the Yankees? It was Japan big.
Big, yeah.
There were no flags, people
everything.
flying in.
Yeah.
That's the sushi stand came.
That sushi stand came, and I remember what a big deal that was because my grandfather, who fought in World War II on the American side, actually started going to the games and cheering for him, that's how big he
That's
was.
huge.
No, you're joking.
No, my grandfather started going to the games and cheering on Hideki
Which is
Matsui, and
huge.
meanwhile he fought in the Pacific Theater of the War.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how he said,
That's how you know how good a player
listen,
he was.
If Karl Anthony Towns continues what he's doing, I don't think we need the Greek Freak right now.
No,
Well,
no, I wouldn't change anything about this team. I
That's
love
what I'm
this
saying.
team.
This
My
team-
question is with Karl Anthony Towns, how come there's not more rainbow flags at the Garden?
You know what? I actually thought he was hiding it. I don't think he's gay. I think he's one of those.
Right.
He's
His
just one of
girlfriend,
those.
girlfriend, fiance is beautiful.
The
She's
way
at every
he
game.
walked, because you know when you could tell when they walk up to the girlfriend and it's a fake kiss.
Sure.
It's a. He walks up to her like there's a thing there. So I think he might just be a little,
what
might
it
just
is.
Could be a
feminine
little
guy.
fruity, yeah.
Yeah, it might be.
But that's the
it's
younger
fine.
kid, the younger generation, all these kids. You got to understand, it's actually, because Greece, here's what Greece also
Dog,
used
you're
to do.
TikTok dancing.
That's what I'm saying. Greece, they didn't have labels back in Greece. Back in these times, Yannis talked about, you weren't gay or straight, you were just a person. That's what's happening now with the youth. These guys, you talk to some of these 15, 16-year-old kids, there's no label. They said people are just being people.
Is it true that the Spartans would have sex with each other though? Like
what it
The
is.
Spartans had an elite unit. So this is how
Not by the way, not that that's a bad thing.
No. This is in Greece and Rome, this is what it was looked like. There was still like homophobia and stuff like that, but if you were the giver, it was seen as masculine. If you were the receiver, that's where you really got discriminated against.
I get it.
Yeah. But
okay.
you're talking
If you're
about
the pitcher,
dude.
yeah.
You're talking about some of the manliest men that ever lived were like bi, and Alexander the Great had a boyfriend who he loved.
Right.
He loved his boyfriend.
But
was it
this
called? The
isn't
Sacred Band of
documented.
Thebes?
This isn't
It's
documented.
documented.
This is
It's
documented. I think it's the Sacred Band of Thebes. Is that
Sacred Band of Thebes was a Spartan elite fighting unit, and they were
And
the
Alexander the Great was a conquering kid, right?
He was
Big
a conquering
time.
kid. Like he was the GOAT. I'm talking about Mayweather.
Yeah.
You're talking about never lost a battle. No, you're
undefeated?
talking about undefeated, retired undefeated.
He had
undefeated?
a boyfriend. What can you do?
He was coming to
He
the
had a
town on an
boyfriend.
elephant, getting a blowjob from
Yeah.
a 15-year-old.
Yeah,
Boy,
I mean,
nothing you could do.
there's nothing you could do about
Nothing you
it.
could do. He was beheading, villagers.
I
having
mean,
sex with
Alexander
guys.
the Great actually is wild.
The
Wild.
GOAT. The GOAT.
I mean,
Yeah.
the GOAT.
unfortunately, I heard the Brad Pitt movie wasn't the best.
No, that wasn't Brad Pitt.
That was Colin Farrell.
That was Colin Farrell.
The best part of that one is he has sex with Rosario Dawson. You see her boobies, and
Yeah.
she's got natties. Nice.
Yeah.
She's got original tits.
So he had sex with women too, but the person he loved was a guy.
Was a guy. So
And when that guy died, he was mourning. He made it like a holiday.
got real upset.
Yeah, it was his
Whoa.
real
It's a
big
boyfriend.
deal.
Yeah, it was
Now,
his
he liked
lover.
guys.
Now, what time frame is Alexander the Great?
Alexander the Great would be
Also-
after the city-states when Macedonia came
That's where my
down. And
grandmother's from.
that was the only time Greece was ever unified. Was conquered
But
by the
still,
Macedonians.
before Christ.
Just so you
Before
know,
Christ.
Yeah.
Just so you know, the blood running through this veins.
Yeah.
The blood running through the veins of the guy you see right now.
Yeah.
From where my grandmother's from, where Alexander the Great.
Macedonia.
Yeah, Macedonia.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
Macedonian and Sicilian.
Right.
It's
So
pretty
the
nuts.
conquered part,
Yeah.
not the gay part.
right. The
That's what it is.
Part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
The conquering.
But
part.
you know, that wouldn't even be my favorite. Right now, my favorite, I have to say, right now would be first century Jerusalem.
You like that?
I'm very interested in
Okay.
what happened. I'm very interested in Paul.
The years after Jesus died.
I'm talking about when Jesus was here.
Oh, so you're talking about the first 30 years.
I've been
AD.
on a deep dive on Jesus.
He's
big.
in for. We got. And I will
Big.
take some credit for this. I got Yanni back into
He's back.
Christ.
Yeah.
Big.
Oh, he's back.
Yanni's back
It's
with Christ.
very
big. He's
interesting.
back with the
Well,
boys.
listen, I'm not trying.
very
A lot of these
interesting.
scientists, there's a lot of proof now.
It's big.
There's some
It's real.
proof now. There's some It's not just document. By the way, I mean, listen, all those writings in different times saying the same. I mean,
Well, and we've talked about this on History News before, but he's talking about Alexander the Great, that we all just take everything that Yannis said about Alexander the Great. I believe this and that because you believe the scholars. Now, Alexander the Great's life was written about 200 years after Alexander the Great died. So we're believing something that imagine how far 200 years ago was.
Yeah.
Things probably aren't true. Jesus' life was written about 10 to 15 years after he died, the writing started, and yet you choose not to believe that when it's so much closer to his life than Alexander the Great.
listen, the kid's dropping knowledge.
I mean,
on
what
the
do you
show.
want me to do?
I mean,
It's
listen,
true.
Read
That-
a little
no, that-
book called The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel and listen to our Patreon. We do a new segment called Comedians for Christ Get Coffee.
That's right.
And we ride around in my car and we talk about
Yeah.
Christian values and we look for people who aren't Christian and we give them a talking to.
The thing about that era that's so interesting is that those disciples believed. There's no question they believed that he was. They didn't make it up.
well, they got killed because of it.
Yeah.
So think about that.
That would be
Yeah.
like somebody saying to you, "Did you see that?" And you really saw it, and they're like, "If you say you saw that, you're going to be killed." And you're like, "Well, I have to say I saw
Yeah.
it, and you're going to kill me."
Yeah.
That's tough.
There was no benefit. Two things. That, and then the other thing, why would the Roman soldiers the Roman soldiers who were at the crucifixion, when they pierced his side, water came out, 3 days later rose from dead. Why would the Roman soldiers who can stand, they will not benefit from this at all. They just killed the guy. Why would they say, yes, we saw a man, we saw him resurrect from the tomb. We heard all the people saying they saw him. Why would they go on record and do that? All they do is risk death.
That's according to the Gospels. But here's the thing. All that aside, it's very interesting to me that Paul, especially Paul, right, would flip like that and start, proselytizing.
Yep.
It's very interesting. The whole thing is very interesting, and like you said, risk their lives. Nobody dies for like something they're not sure is true.
Right.
So I don't know if it was a flesh resurrection or like visions or something, but it doesn't really matter. Here's the interesting thing, because now I've been on a deep dive on it. The interesting thing is when you really cut through all the everything.
Yep.
What the kid was saying, what the kid is saying is just unimpeachable. Right. It's like unimpeachable morality.
Christy, you brought him to the side.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And who's to judge? We don't know. We don't fully know. Like, if somebody's absolutely full of love, and like we don't know what's possible.
Right.
But that's basically, I think, what the kid was saying, because love is an energy, right? Like if I show you love, you're going to release oxytocin. Right. Like things are going to happen. Like it actually chemically rearranges you.
Right.
Love is responsible for so much creation. You come together with your wife, you make kids.
Yes.
Forgiveness is such a powerful thing.
Oh, Yannis has been reading.
Yeah, I've been on deep dive.
But I could tell.
No, I mean,
just the way you're talking right now.
Even some of the things he was saying, I was like, should I interrupt the flow to say, hey, actually the watering thing just means he was dead? I mean, I am on a
you're on full on.
I have been on. I mean, I'm reading and reading and reading. But you can't, that's why I'm so interested in that time period. I'm like, what happened there?
Chris, did you make him, is he full on Republican now?
He's full on, big. He's big, and let's just say he's with the good guys.
I'm going to church with his mom.
You go to church with my mom.
No, but it's really interesting because it's it's an energy, and basically he's saying, look, this is the energy responsible.
I'll show you
for everything.
Yeah,
and you're going like, that's a pretty
pretty wild.
That's a pretty strong case.
It's hard to deny.
Can't deny it.
Here's the text. Here's the text I woke up to. This was sent to me at 3 o'clock this morning. If someone proved to me that Christ is outside the truth, I would choose Christ over the truth. That's from Dostoevsky.
That's one of my quote. Read that quote again. That is
Ready
great.
for this?
Say that
Dostoevsky, the famous Russian writer.
If someone proved to me that Christ is outside the truth, I would choose Christ over the truth.
Wow.
So what he's basically saying is, this was such a great guy. It doesn't really matter whether it was true or not. If it turned out to not be true,
he would still.
I would prefer that because it's so much better than whatever you're going to say, even if it's the truth.
So this is your so and I mean it's a really hard case to not say that this is one of the best time periods in history, because it's incredible. It's incredible time.
It's something where you go like, what happened? What was that?
Also, you have to understand, this is also documented. There was about 30 documented people during that 100-year span that also were saying that they were the Messiah, but all of them, all their lives got lost to antiquity. But this guy, Jesus, is who he is still to this day. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And so there's this prophecy, right? So there's interesting things. So you look at Psalm 22, or you look at Isaiah. Yeah,
a kid is.
You look at those two, and you're going, either one of two things happened. Either the disciples retrofitted the Gospels to fulfill those prophecies, right? Because it was written a little after the destruction of the temple, the second temple. It was written a couple of years after the destruction of the temple, or those prophecies were fulfilled, and the resemblance is uncanny.
Yeah,
like when you look at Jesus, you look at Isaiah, you look at Psalm 22, you go and pierced feet and arms. He's entering on a donkey. And then also Jesus was apocalyptic, saying like, this is good, things are going to be destroyed. And then the Romans came and destroyed the temple, destroyed everything. You're going like, it's either retrofitted by the you know, in other words, the disciples believed so much that they saw it and they endowed it with the prophecy. They tailored it.
They made it be what
or just Jesus was a fulfillment of the actual Messiah. Now the Jews believed in the Messiah, but they believed the Messiah was going to be human and the Messiah was going to bring world peace and rebuild the temple or whatever and free them from Romans or whatever. So you're going like, the Jews thought that, and that's why they reject Jesus as a Messiah, because he was claiming to be God. But then you go, what happened after Jesus died? Jesus kind of did conquer Rome. You know?
Right, Rome's gone.
In the same way Greece conquered Rome.
Wow.
Jesus flipped the whole, like Christianity flipped the whole thing.
Well, there's one thing that I think, Chris, me and you could agree on 100% because we're friends with Yannis and we know Yannis. When Yannis dives into something, you're just getting texts.
Yeah, it's what it is.
You're getting texts and you're going to read a lot of stuff on social media.
It dives in.
The kid dives in, but not just a little dive.
Yeah.
It's actually a cannonball into the deep end.
Right, and it's like a text like that, what he said about Dostoevsky, it's like if I wasn't also interested in that, I would say to myself, what I used to say, I say, I'm in for a very long day. I'm in for a long day.
When you get invested, you go, because I've seen you're a reader, you get in.
I get in. I mean, I'm talking until like 3 a.m. I'm just reading. That Dostoevsky quote, I'm glad we read it on that podcast. That is one of the craziest quotes I've ever read.
Yeah, and it's a great quote. The problem is he sent it to me, but then he's also telling his 3-year-old daughter when she's trying to tie her shoes about that. And then she's just looking at him, and she doesn't understand.
Yeah, she's trying to talk about the macaroni.
And he says that Christ is the truth.
Well, listen, we can't talk about time periods, and that's an amazing one. I think we hit a lot of good ones. But let's talk about some modern. What's your favorite modern time period now? Like, I mean, we're all kind of, 40s or late 40s, whatever. What are you thinking like recently? Because let's be honest. I mean, the 80s were kind of fun.
The 80s.
I don't know the 60s. I was born in the 70s. What do you think?
I find myself when I'm really missing New York, or really like, if I'm on the road or even home, I find myself just watching. I'll just put in YouTube 90s New York walking videos and people just walking through New York, a couple of years before 9/11. Like when things were fantastic, 9/11 not happening, and then even after 9/11, like 2000, 2004, when they let Giuliani, you know what I mean, a little stop and frisk, things were just safe here.
Dude, I was actually thinking about that. And we already did the music era, but I was playing golf the other day and somebody goes, hey, Virzi, what playlist do you want? Because you have it in the golf club. Dude, a 90s playlist, if you listen from like 95 to 99, the music was, even 93, the music was good, right? New York safe.
Right.
The
safest city in the world.
New York safe in the night. Walk up, grab a hot dog, have your kids not work.
A knish.
Dude, knish with mustard.
Yeah.
You don't see that a lot.
No.
You're right. That's it. Like the few years before 9/11, New York City was kind of nice.
Was nice, and I think the 90s was something special about it because I've specifically asked my parents, people older than me, because I think, the 90s, I was a teenager, so would my mom's time period be the 60s because that's when she was a teenager, but she says no. She says, I also love the 90s.
So
she was in her 40s.
To the 60s or 70s?
No, she likes it, but she's like, the 90s was special.
Yeah.
There was something special about the 90s.
Yeah, there was something really special about the movies we watched in the 80s. There was an innocence, you're eating cereal in the morning, you're watching cartoons. There was just something about that time. It was more simple.
Yeah.
And now it's like you look at everybody and we kind of are, this era, we kind of are a robot. I feel like this era, as much as people say this is the greatest time, because people do say that. There's a big argument that this is the greatest time with phones and everything. But when you watch everybody, dude, when you leave here today, when you leave the studio today, watch New York City, dude, it is like somebody goes, we're going to be cyborgs, and somebody goes, no, we already are. This is the first piece. Right. This is the first piece of our robot.
You've already become AI.
Because we're just the fact that you can make movies now, the fact you could, it's getting to the point where it was like there's no longer this like you do it yourself and make your own thing. Now it's like things are being done for you. It's kind of weird. It's getting to a place that I think is a little weird.
I wear a lot of. I mean, it might not work for everybody, but it helps me just to have like one obstacle. I wear almost exclusively pants with zip pockets now because I don't want stuff falling out of my pockets, but also because then the phone, when I'm walking, to have to unzip it and take it out sometimes is a bit of a deterrent where I don't take it out as much. And then I just walk and be in the moment. That's where I saw the sign to get these cookies.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, here's hey, listen, those cookies don't come if you're doing that shit.
100%. I would have walked right past it.
Dude, believe it or not, of all people, Sharon Stone was talking. They were asking Sharon Stone.
Still look good?
She's, I think she's getting close to 70.
I mean, basic instinct, the pussy is out of control.
I mean,
it's
the fact
incredible.
that they showed it's wild.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
But she said something. She goes, when your kid walks in the door, it's so big to put your phone down and actually acknowledge them. And because sometimes your kid will come in and like the other day, one time it happened where my daughter came in and I noticed that she came in and started walking away, and I put my phone. I go, whoa, 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 come back here, come back here.
Yeah.
And I realized it's like, yeah, dude, you can't, because they're remembering that shit.
He's good at that. You put your phone away with the
put
kids.
my
He's
phone
good.
down.
You'll text Yanni.
Oh, did you find out that I thought he had a heart attack and died? Did you hear about that one?
No.
No, this is a good one. You're gonna like this one.
Oh, this is a good story.
No, this is a
Yeah.
great story. This is a great story.
Yeah.
So I get a phone call, I get a text from Britt, and then I get a phone call from Britt, and she's a little freaked out, and she goes, Paul, I don't see Yannis on the camera. Okay, I've been calling, I've been doing it. He's there with the girls. I'm just afraid something. And like, it got to the point where it was like, there's no communication. He's home with the girls. Now I get scared, so I go to the house, and I'm afraid that I'm going to walk around the backyard and I'm going to see my dear Greek friend Yannis Pappas face down somewhere.
Face down, dead,
because of heart. And I'm thinking, and I go there, and he's sitting in a kid pool. Go, yeah, he's splashing water. He's splashing water. The girls are there. I go, dude, you're. He goes, oh yeah, what's going on? I mean, it was just and it was like
so funny.
and it was a little pool.
Yeah.
And Yannis in there, he splashed and two little girls in there.
Very
And
funny, right?
I said to Brett, he's fine. He's in the pool.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I don't know why she couldn't see me, and the camera must have been down. So my mother-in-law bought one of those inflatable pools.
Little.
So it's we were all in the pool and we're splashing and playing. And it was the way he walked up was so funny, and we were joking about. We were laughing hard. I remember, like when you're going and you think you're going to find your friend's dead body.
Yeah.
You don't rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, because because
I walked up slow.
He walked up slow.
Because like you want to see a hand or an arm first.
Yeah.
You know, so I started walking in the backyard like this.
He was peeking
and
around.
I just hear laugh. Yeah.
He was expecting to see like
Yo,
laid out.
You start peeking around. I was actually was one of the most nervous walk-ups in driveway.
Yeah.
Because I'm just going, I don't want to find my friend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, he's getting not up there in age, but you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. Kid eats 8 slices a day.
Kid eats a lot. Yeah. I don't know. And luckily he's just sitting in the pool. He's splashing around.
the kids.
I hear little girls around laughing.
Your energy was so funny when you walked
Was this
up.
recent?
I was freaked
This,
out. Not
2
long
years
ago,
ago.
a year and a half. Yeah.
No, maybe 2 years ago.
I
Something
was,
like that. Yeah.
I was freaked out, dude. When you think you're going to see a body?
Yeah.
When you think you're going to see a body?
How long was Brittany trying to get in touch with you for?
It must have been a while. We were in the pool for a while.
I think it was about like imagine
enough time where he thought he was going to not find someone in trouble.
Yeah.
But he was going to find a dead body. Yeah.
2-3 hours, something like that.
And I had to first make sure when I heard girls, I had to first make sure it wasn't crying, saying, "Daddy, wake up."
Right. Yeah.
And then I heard a laugh from him, and then I walked in. But I did walk in a little because you never know.
You never
know
know.
what's funny about women though? You know what's really funny? So it's like when I'm on my phone, she'll tell me to put my phone down. Even though the reason we're on our phones is because literally our money comes from our phones. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's
Us
really,
specifically.
Yeah,
yes.
us specifically, like we work on our phones. So I'll have to be on my phone, right? So she'll tell me put down the phone. Like we all probably have our women say
every minute of the day for it.
So and then when she leaves and I'm with the kids, I put my phone down. I just leave it.
Yeah.
Right. And then she yells at me because she goes, "You can't get in touch with you." So it's like you can't win.
Yeah, which way do you want
Which way do you want it?
Right.
Like, what do you think? She's from Long Island, so she always thinks, the MS-13 could just attack her. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's like, what could happen?
Yeah.
What could
her family
possibly
doesn't
happen?
like flying during the month of March because there's turbulence.
Because there's turbulence.
Right.
So they're scared of everything. So what could possibly happen?
Right.
And if something happens, like, I'll grab my phone or I'll take the kids to the emergency room or whatever.
You're
It's
also like an adult that's responsible. So it's like,
it's like, what are you worried? Do you remember back before the cell phones? Our parents weren't constantly thinking we were dead just because they couldn't reach us for 5 seconds.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I actually saw something about this because you would think, like if I said to you, in the 90s, none of us had phones. If I said, hey, there's going to be a time, 2026, everyone's going to have phones, kids are going to have Apple AirTags, you're going to know where your kid is at all times, you would say, you know what a sigh of relief, I would feel good. But now we're more scared of everything, even though there's so many ways for us. Even the fact that Brittany got nervous because she couldn't see him on a camera. Imagine there was never a camera, she probably wouldn't be that nervous. She would say, oh, he's probably doing something.
Right,
but because
right.
you have instant access when you take it away. But I read that the reason why that's happening is because of the 24-hour news cycle and the instant how we receive news, bad news, at all times from all over the world. It makes your brain think that 1 in a million thing is way more probable than it actually is because they're constantly showing the worst case scenarios from every state and every country, when in reality your children are actually safer today than they were, but your brain won't accept that.
I want to say that that's an incredible point. That's actually perfect and I think that's where the fear of things that they used to tell you, but that's actually perfect.
That's what it is.
That's actually perfect. Now I did this before we get out of here, I want to ask you guys. So I'll ask you guys this question. I did this back in the day, and it went viral. You know, because I was joking about if I can go back in time, I'd go to the war where there was just muskets, and I'd have like Uzis, and I'd freak everybody out. But in all seriousness, here's the question. Giannis, I'll start with you, then I'll go to Chrissy. You get a time machine. Where are you going? If you could go to a time machine, and you know, where are you going? I'll say you got 24 to 48 hours. Where are you going?
Just
going to Jerusalem?
For 1 or 2 days?
Right now, I can't ask Giannis that now because, Chris, he's going to Jerusalem.
No, but
he's going to Jerusalem.
Yeah, he's going to Jerusalem.
He's going to Jerusalem.
And I come back?
You could come back.
Oh, I'm definitely going to Jerusalem.
You're going to Jerusalem.
Who wouldn't go to find out what
You want to see
happened?
JC?
I want to see what happened.
Yeah, you want to see, but I know you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going. I know right where you're going.
I'll tell you where I'm going very specifically.
You're going to the book burning?
I'm going to the.
You're going to the.
Yeah, I'm going to the book. Yeah, I'm going to the book. Well. The thing is with that, probably not, just because I've had the privilege and honor of growing up in a place called Ridgewood, New York, Ridgewood, Queens, where they went a lot of Germans there, and my next door neighbor actually fought on the Nazi side, so I was able to talk to him about some real life events.
Are there a lot of Germans in Queens?
Big time.
Oh, it was a traditionally German neighborhood.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You ever seen that Nazi rally, the MSG Nazi rally from the 1930s? The Nazis sold out Madison Square Garden.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, the local bakery in Ridgewood is the one that catered the event.
Stop
It's just what it is, cuz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most
And
of
they
the
have
people who
amazing
attended-
Linzer tarts.
Yeah, it was Ridgewood was an all working class German neighborhood.
Yeah, my mom's a German woman.
Yeah.
So, but I would probably go specifically to the Battle of Brooklyn in the Revolutionary War, August 1776. Fought on the Staten Island, Bay Ridge. That although I would like to be standing in Bay Ridge, where Yannis and I used to live, where I was standing in that exact spot. I know the exact spot where the ships came in, and I would like to have seen the redcoats coming in, and the General Howe and everybody coming in.
That'd be pretty amazing.
The first wave of British soldiers coming in to step foot in Brooklyn. I would like to see that.
There's two I have. That's a great one.
Yeah.
I would either go. I know what I would do. The joking one is I'd go to 1973 to watch the Knicks win a championship at the Garden.
Yeah.
But I think what I would really do is I would come back with footage of 9/11. I'd come back on September 10th.
Yeah.
And I'd give footage.
Yeah.
And it'd be a big surprise for those guys the next day.
So you're always thinking about making money, because you'd be able to sell that footage for a lot of money.
Dude, I would come back and be like, look what's going to happen. And I said, let's give them a big surprise tomorrow.
Big surprise, yeah.
Big surprise tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah.
You'd stop it from happening.
I'd walk into fucking Logan Airport, whatever, with a bat, and I'd look right for Muhammad Atta, and I'd hit him right in the back of the head.
And here's the deal: I want a statue of me everywhere in New York City. A statue.
Big
of me.
time.
Big statue.
Looking good.
We're looking good, wearing some nice sneakers.
Yeah.
I'd say on this day he came back and showed us.
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Dude, this was so fun, man. Thank you guys so much for being here. Guys, plug your show, plug everything. Guys, you got to watch the show. It's
History
one of the
Hyenas.
podcasts.
Patreon.com/HistoryHyenas. A lot of fun happens there. And every Thursday, YouTube.com/HistoryHyenas. Catch the episodes, man.
Yeah. Got
very,
dates
very
coming
fun.
out, stand-up dates?
Yeah, just check our website, YannisPappasComedy.com.
Yeah. Or HistoryHyenas.com. We got all our dates up there.
All right, guys, you can check me out. I will be in Rosemont, one of my favorite clubs in the country, Rosemont, Illinois. It's Zany's on May 29th and 30th. Then I'm going down to Point Pleasant, New Jersey on the 12th and 13th. I'm going to be in Soul Joe's, Pottstown.
Big time.
Love Soul Joe's.
Just had the cheesesteak festival.
It's just
I swear to God, yeah.
I mean, Soul Joe's taking over that place. He's got wedding halls.
It's amazing.
I'll be there
Soul Joe.
18th. Then I'm going, guys.
Soul Joe.
Toledo on the 24th. I'm going to Cincinnati on the 25th. Go to paulvirzi.com for all my dates. Guys, go to the YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button on Paul's Best. I have so many great episodes like the one that you guys just heard. Rate and review the show. It moves it to the top. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next week.